Welcome to MyLamePerspective.
I'm Weston. I'm the better looking brother, so...
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
That's about all you need to know.
And we're going to see if we can get this engine out of the Subaru today. Last episode we focused on the interior, and now we got to rip out the old engine. So really quickly I'm going to go over everything that I know about pulling engines out of cars.
Nothing.
First thing I did was actually steam clean the engine bay. So I'd already been using the steam cleaner on the interior, so I just moved it over to the engine bay. Was able to really get off a bunch of grime and gunk, and then I moved on to the wheels for some reason, I guess, and then the license plate bracket. Okay, I don't know how that's going to help me. And then, okay, clearly I wasn't getting much done. So then I moved on to building the engine hoist. This is a time lapse. I'll just jump through that. That part's done. Now we can move on to pulling the engine out of that guy.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Alright, so since I don't have much experience pulling engines, I went onto YouTube and found someone called Subaru Only, as well as Subaru Mike. They're two technicians who have gone through and really documented the process of pulling an engine, and that's where I got this cheat sheet from. So I'll put their information down in the description below. Following their how-to, I'm going to be able to pull off each part of this engine until it's ready to rip out of the engine bay. And just like that, we have started pulling the engine. So we got the sprayer nozzle off, battery's been pulled out. We're going to move on to pulling out the reservoir tank. And then I decided to put on a different lens. This one is a wide angle. It'll be a little bit easier to kind of see what's going on. Alright, and when you have no idea what you're doing, you're just going to grab your intercooler and try to rip it out by sheer force, rather than following the instructions you printed out about a month in advance, but you're refusing to look at it, and instead you're just going to yank on it until something breaks. So, good strategy there. That works well. But with the magic of editing, we can see that I finally did get it out of the car, and not looking forward to putting in the STI intercooler because that's even bigger and is going to rub up against the AC line, so that'll be a fun thing to tackle, but that's for future me to worry about. Now, we just need to remove the fuel lines, and then we're going to move on to the intake, pull that guy off, and then we have this reservoir tank. I don't remember what that is, but someone in the comments will remind me, and then a couple bolts. And then I got the alternator out first try. Right now. Ha! Got it. Some more bolts after that, and then we can finally move on to the air conditioner. And that's out of the way. I found that the radiator hose was bloated. So there's some more proof that this engine has at least overheated once, maybe even several times. From there, we started disassembling the exhaust, and it was awfully rusty. So a couple broken bolts later, we were able to get the rest of the exhaust off. At this point in the engine pull, I came across one of the harder steps, and that was separating the transmission from the short block. What I did initially was I got a small gap, thought that was good, attached the engine to the hoist, and started trying to lift it out. And as you'll see later, I did not have it ready, so I ended up moving the entire transmission, broke two of the CV axles. So definitely a bit of a learning curve for me, but you know what, we get it all fixed in the end, and got some new CV axles ready to install, so something good came from it.
What's up, dude?
We're going to finish pulling this son of a gun. You guys can see it's basically off. We're just going to finish lifting it out.
We've only been at this for 5 minutes.
Even with some help, I still had some learning to do, and there's some power steering that's hooked onto the passenger side. Yeah, we broke that too.
All right,
Beautiful moment.
Oh man, there ain't no V8. So here's the Japanese sewing machine out of the Forester.
EJ25 sewing machine.
It's got a little Terpsky on it. Man.
So power happens here and goes out the exhaust. And that's how engines work.
The more you know. Check it out, fellow YouTube. We only pulled the transmission ahead 1.5 feet.
So
and we
your
got
transmission
it out.
is here. It's supposed to be, I don't know, here.
Man.
So that's custom. They don't do that in Japan. You have to do that yourself.
Now, do you see this? It's called instructions. Useless. Don't ever use them. Here. I'm Mr. Socket.
Joe, we gotta move. We have to show the YouTubers. There's no light. It's literally a big black circle. So being this is our first clutch we've ever pulled in person, we don't know if it's good or bad.
The more you know.
With the engine stand finally built, we can put it on and get the hoist put back into storage. And one of the last steps was taking the intake manifold off of the engine, as well as the rat's nest of wires that comes from the factory. There it is, you guys. And we'll have it done in 3, 2, 1. So it broke. Okay, this is removing the valve cover. With that all taken apart, we can finally remove the valve cover and see it's pretty dirty on the inside. And then finally taking the heads off of the short block. So with all of those bolts broken, we can lift that guy off and finally take a close look at what these heads look like. To my surprise, one of the valves was really rusty, so I don't know if that's from when the car had been sitting for several years or if that had happened before the car sat for a long time. Regardless, you can see that these heads need to be rebuilt, so I'm going to send those off to get remanufactured from a local Subaru shop, and then the next step will be cleaning up the subframe as that had some surface rust on it. I'll show you a picture of the final result. And to be honest, that's going to wrap up this episode. Pulling an engine's a pretty intimidating thing to take on, but with the help of my brothers, I was able to knock it out, and I'm looking forward to putting the new engine back in. On the next episode, I want to get something out quicker than this video since it took me a couple weeks. I'm going to focus on cleaning up the top mount intercooler with a quick do-it-yourself video, and from there, we're going to finally start getting to the upgrades and making the Subaru look like new. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you sticking around till the end. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. I look forward to hearing from you. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.